Hey there, welcome back to Learn with Nowrin. There are a number of English words we need to use frequently at our workplace or for our professional purpose. We often get confused of their pronunciation, or sometimes we have been using them mistakenly without even knowing the fact that it was a mistake. In this lesson, I will assist you to feel more confident at your workplace. Today, we will discuss some commonly confused English words related to work or profession. You will learn how to correctly pronounce them, and after that, we will practice using them in different contexts. If you want to learn something new, stick to the lesson. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to show you how pronunciation can affect the meaning of words in English. You will realize that you may be using some words wrongly or mistakenly because of that. If you are new here, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notification once we upload a new lesson. So let's get started with the lesson. On top of them is career versus career. So see the differences? These two words are commonly confused words and most of the time mispronounced. Sometimes we often mispronounce the first one, that is career. We often say career. So what is the meaning of the word career? It means our profession or job which I am pursuing for a long time. So instead of saying career, we must say career. So in career, we will stress the second syllable, and the A is reduced and pronounced as a schwa sound. So don't say I like my career. Instead, we will say I like my career. So, and this word is frequently confused with the pronunciation of the word career. So this word came from the verb to carry. So a carrier is someone or something which carries or transports another thing. It's often related to transportation or carrying. Sometimes instead of saying airlines, we say carrier. For instance, Indigo is a carrier or British Airlines is a carrier. Let's look at some example sentences. I put the baby carrier in the car. Bangladesh Biman is the nation's largest carrier. Mosquitoes can be carriers of malaria. So let's look at the first one, the first word, which is mostly mispronounced and which is related to our profession or job. So let's look at some example sentences. She hopes to pursue a career in medicine. My career as a waitress lasted only for one day. The second common mistakenly used words are moral versus morale. So look at the differences between the two words, moral and morale. Moral means to care about good or bad, or to have a clear perception about good or bad, right or wrong, and to follow the right thing or right path. See the pronunciation again. It is moral, not moral. Here the A is reduced into a schwa sound and we will pronounce it as moral. So A is pronounced slightly, not as an A, instead as a schwa sound. But in the second word, we stress the second syllable and we pronounce the A as an A sound. Okay, so we will say as morale. So this morale is related to workplace or job or profession, and this word means the spirit of a group of people, most specifically at a workplace. Or we may say morale means the general mood or general feeling of the employees or of the group of people. If there is a low morale at the workplace, people are not happy with their jobs. They are not satisfied. If there is a high morale, people are enthusiastic, they feel good. For example, we can say morale at the company is high, people are happy working there. And the previous word moral, we already discussed that it refers to be concerned about right or wrong. It can be a noun or an adjective. A moral person is a good person and an innocent person. So let's look at an example sentence. Each story teaches an important moral lesson. Another top mistake that we often make is between advise and advice. Now we are going to discuss about 3 important facts about them. The first rule is we do not add an s with the word advice because it is an uncountable noun. Most of the time I hear people say that thank you for your advices. That's not correct. You must say thank you for your advice. Now you may ask, if we cannot put an s with it to make it plural, then how will we make it plural? Yes, we can't say thank you for your 1 advice or thank you for your 2 advices. But there are a simple rule to make them plural. In those cases, we often change the uncountable noun into plural by adding another element which is countable. So for instance, jewelry is an uncountable noun. If I have bought 2 earrings or 2 necklaces, we cannot say that I bought 2 jewelries. We must say I bought 2 pieces of jewelry. In the same way, we can say about the advice. We may say that he gave me 2 pieces of advice. However, most of the time we do not add numbers with the noun advice. We say some instead of adding numbers. So we may say he gave me some advice. And now let's talk about the differences between advise and advice. In the spelling and in the meaning they are different. Moreover, there's some difference in the pronunciations as well. The word advice spelled with a C is a noun and advise spelled with an S is a verb. And we often get confused while writing an email or writing someone in the workplace. We sometimes get confused about the spelling, whether to write with an C or to write with an S. So the noun that is spelled with C, that is advice, is pronounced with a sa sound ending. That means the CE at the end of the word is pronounced as a sa sound, as in advice. And the verb advise ends with se, and that is pronounced with a za sound, as in advise. By this time, you may also notice the difference in their vowel length. Listen to the way I say both the I in these words. Listen carefully. First one is advice, and the second one is advise. So first word is here the I is much shorter, and in the second word the I is a bit longer. Why? Because advice finishes with a sa sound, which is a voiceless consonant, and the previous vowel of a voiceless consonant is pronounced shorter, as in advice. When we have a voiced consonant like za, as in the second word or in the verb advise, the preceding vowel is pronounced longer. We will pronounce it as advise. So let's see the difference again. I hope he will advise me. Here the word advise is a verb, and you will notice the pronunciation. I hope he will advise me. And in the second sentence it will be a noun. He gave me some valuable advice. Another noteworthy mistake we often make is between the word assistance and assistance. See, there are a difference in the spelling. However, both are pronounced in the same way. Assistance and assistance. Although in the second word we have a T, we do not hear the sound of the T because it is softens after the S is added here. So assistance is a noun. It is the help or support that is given to someone. It's an uncountable noun like the word advice, and therefore we can't add an S to make it plural. For example, can I have your assistance in lifting this box into my car? I asked her for some assistance because I couldn't find my seat. Now, look at the second word, assistance. It is also a noun, however, it's a plural noun. It's the plural form of the singular word assistant. So when the S is added in the word assistant to make it plural, the T is softens and we barely hear it while we pronounce the word. An assistant is a person whose job it is to help someone else, help others. A shop assistant is someone who works in a shop and helps customers. A personal assistant is a person who helps another person to do his job. Again, we can use both of the words in the same sentence. The personal assistants never took financial assistance from the company. Another most commonly mispronounced word related to workplace or profession is colleague. We often pronounce it as colleague, which is incorrect. We must stress the first syllable, not the second one. Let's pronounce it correctly again. Colleague, colleague. We all know colleague means co-worker or the people who work with us in the same workplace. So let's go through some example sentences and you will know different contexts to use them. Listen and repeat with me. My colleague gave me some great career advice. My colleague gave me some great career advice. I strongly advise you not to argue with your boss. I strongly advise you not to argue with your boss. Recent changes in management have increased employee morale. It goes against his morals to participate in that activity. I am fortunate that I have found a career that I love. Which carrier has the least expensive flights to London? The shop assistants will give you assistance if you need it. The shop assistants will give you assistance if you need it. So that's all for today. I hope this lesson was helpful to you. Here is a homework for you. Go ahead and find out at least 3 words that we have been mistakenly using in different contexts all the time when we talk or we write, and make sure that these 3 words are except the word that I have mentioned here in the lesson, and share those words with us in the comments below. I will be checking each of your comments. So stay tuned and stay with us. Bye bye.